Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back to this Bible study we're doing where we are just marching our way all the way to Easter by going through the book of John, one chapter at a time. And I kind of this idea that we're sitting across a coffee table from each other and we're reading the Gospel of John together, and we're just kind of exploring and enjoying God's Word together, one chapter at a time. And kind of look also as maybe me being your tour guide through the book of John. Well, today, as we're in chapter 5, I want to let you know about two major things that are happening so that as you read it today, you will maybe get a little bit more insight. The first is there's the story that happens in the very beginning where it says Jesus heals at this pool on the Sabbath. Now, what was going on in this situation is there was a kind of a myth that was going on that in the area, there was this certain pool that at certain different times, an angel would come down and would trouble the water. So it would be like if you went to a swimming pool and you splashed it real good and the water started to ripple. And the idea is whoever got into the water first was the one who would be healed. Now, there is no evidence that this was true. It was just an idea that people had. So you imagine from time to time, there would be this water would all of a sudden get troubled and all of these sick people would just run and jump in the water. And it'd almost be like Willy Wonka in the chocolate factory. There was just 5 of them would come out with the golden ticket, so one person would come out healed. And once again, there's no evidence this was true. The Bible just shares with us in the footnotes especially that this was a myth, a legend at the time. Well, Jesus sees this and he goes into the area and he goes up to one particular guy and he says, "Sir, would you like to be made well?" And notice what this guy says. He doesn't say yes. He says, "Man, I'd like to, but no one's going to get me into the water. And every time I start heading to the water, somebody beats me," and all this kind of stuff. And then Jesus says, "Actually, you could be healed right now." He heals him. And then notice he doesn't heal everybody else. He leaves. And it's always curious to me. He could have cleared out the whole place, but he didn't. So that lets me know that while there is the power of God to do great things all the time, God wants us to be part of the process. Now, we don't earn healing, but our faith plays a part in his healing in our life. How many times did Jesus say, "It's because of your faith that you've been made well"? My power is always here, but I want you to be part of the process. And so I don't know. I'd love for you to read through that and just kind of see how that kind of hits you in the mind as you kind of look through this and you see this situation. The second part of this is because Jesus is healing these people, these Pharisees are trying to put him to death. Now understand why he's doing this, or why they're wanting to put him to death. Number one is because he's not lining up with them, so he's threatening their power. Number two is larger and larger crowds are starting to follow Jesus, and that's dangerous because the Jewish people have a certain amount of freedom, but they're being ruled by Rome. And Rome doesn't like large gatherings of their subjects coming together because that might look a little bit like an insurrection or an army being developed. And the Jewish people were already pretty bad about that. And so it doesn't look good that a lot of Jewish people are gathering together under one man's banner. And so they're also getting a little nervous that Rome may get the wrong idea. So for all those reasons, they're trying to put Jesus to death. And Jesus defends his authority to do so. And so as you read the second half of this, I want you to see this. So first of all, Jesus heals one guy instead of everybody, and look and see if you can figure out why. And then number two, understand that while the Pharisees were wrong, they also had good reason to fear Jesus from their secular point of view. And so as you look at that, I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you here tomorrow for chapter 6.